Is it ever acceptable to destroy your own life to create something beautiful? We admire great art, but we hardly ever ask what it cost the artist to make it. Today I will discuss Giant's Breath, a novel Agatha Christie wrote under the name Mary Westmacott. My central argument is that this is not a love story, but a dark exploration of artistic genius as a kind of monster. In this book, the real giant is the creative drive itself, which demands everything. It could be your identity, love, even life, to feed it. So the story follows Vernon Dare, a man who runs from reality his whole life. We see him from a fearful childhood, through a failed marriage, a reported death in war, and finally to his rebirth as a composer. So the core conflict here is Vernon's fear of deep emotion, and this is exemplified by his childhood terror, the beast, which is a grand piano. But this is something symbolic because the beast stands for everything Vernon is afraid of. It could be stronger feelings, real commitment, and also the power of music. So his whole life is a series of escapes. He runs from the piano, he runs from his boring life by letting everyone think he's dead, and he also runs from the pain of seeing his wife marry someone else by losing his own memory. So after this, he starts living as George Green, living a completely happy life as a chauffeur with no past because he doesn't remember. And in the book, this is his greatest act of cowardice. And he only changes when he fears or when he faces the biggest loss of all, which is the death of Jane, the character who is the love of his life, the only woman who was his true partner in spirit. And this is the result is a paradox because his greatest suffering becomes the spark for his greatest art. And at the end, he does not defeat the beast, but he feeds it, and the beast destroys him. Now let's talk a little bit more about our protagonist. As you can see, Vernon is not a hero, but a passive and evasive person, always running away and quietly hurting others, especially Jane, who is a strong and resilient character. But what makes him so interesting is that his final change is both horrifying and completely logical, because his gift as an artistic genius is actually not his talent, but more like a sickness that controls him. And regarding the writing style, I will say it is not romantic at all, not sentimental, but more analytical and controlled. I like how the author conveys that the real meaning hides between the lines. For example, every time Vernon says the word nothing, we can understand a little bit more about his fear and failure to connect with others. And last but not least, I will strongly recommend this book to readers who want more than a simple love story and are interested in the dark side of the creative mind. For example, if you enjoy reading books that examine self-deception and ask whether creating something great can ever justify destroying everything human, then this unsettling and memorable novel is definitely for you. Bye.